What's up, guys? How's it going? So you probably noticed parking wars, and if you haven't already, basically the way this works. Alright, so pretty much you just need to follow along, and this is going to pretty much show you how to get that 5% discount on your purchases in Legend of Mushrooms. This is all you pretty much need to do is just basically install Legend of Mushroom, and you have to have Aptoid's version of this. Then of course you need to have the AppCoin wallet as well. Again, these are both in the description down below, so you're more than welcome to take a look at these, come and download them. And then once you've actually downloaded them and installed them, then all you gotta do is basically open it up. And the AppCoin's wallet is basically a crypto app in a sense, but and it's really all you're gonna do is just go to the rewards tab, go to the promo codes tab, put in the promo code that I've got down in the description, which is Dakanoth LM, and then you'll be able to get your 5% extra bonus on the game, so you can save money playing the game. Claim your park rewards after a certain amount of time, right? And of course, people pay parking fees. There's always that possibility. Of course, you'll, occasionally acquire different players and all that jazz. It varies from time to time. But like here, we can go ahead and confirm. Take our loot. There's that. Now, like this guy. You can kind of get an idea how this works, but as you can tell, a lot of people do this during parking wars. Which is kind of funny, but it is what it is. But so basically, like, if I wanted to kick this guy out, I gotta have more power than he does. As you might imagine, that is not going to be an easy feat, seeing as how this guy has supreme pieces. Yeah, there's that, right? I'm not gonna sweat it though. Of course, there's a dormitory, so we can go ahead and collect our loot from here, or might as well anyway. And then, of course, if you haven't already been doing the mine, you can go ahead and do your mine. More loot, the better. And, naturally, just keep going through the ranks. As you might imagine, one of the things that I thought I would go off on is the fact that, like anything in this game, right, with the lucky wheel and a lot of the extra loot and stuff that you grab, there's the arena. Now, between like parking wars and the arena, as you can tell, it's favored by one family right now, which is PR. A vast majority of like your player base, they eventually kind of leave sooner or later, right? And so you're left with kind of this feeling, For example, I'll give you, a quick look here. So, I mean, since the rankings reset, right, it's basically now it's just a very quick climb to the top, but of course, you're going to have to struggle to get there, and you're going to deal with all the players that are of certain calibers, better and others, and it's just kind of the mishmash, so to speak. Basically, arena itself. Well, we've got a lot of tickets, so we might as well just go ahead and use them. And the baseline for rewards in this game is really pretty low. As long as you're following some of the guides that are out there on the Discord, you'll get fine in this game. It's really relatively easy. We'll see how far we get in the arena today, because I think as far as the arena is concerned, the only thing I've found to be pretty helpful is you want to have the shield shroom if you're playing a mage. I think that's kind of a given, but like the one that I'm using right now that you're seeing, where this guy has like basically a giant battle axe, that thing is a lot of constant DPS. Like, that thing is stupid on DPS, like all the time. It just constantly flacks the living bejeebus out of whoever's in front of you. It is so overly ridiculously constant on damage that it just walks all over people. And if you've got a shield, it's just, I don't know, it's just helpful. Now, is it going to do me any good against somebody that's bigger than me? Probably not. We can try it and see, but as you can tell, it doesn't really work. Here in practice, it sounds great, but in reality, not so great. That's, I think, kind of the downside is in order to get ahead Sometimes you've got to spend to get there. That's one of those things that, it's like, unless you're not spending, like me, and you're just kind of casually going through this game and you're just playing. One thing I can tell you that makes a big substantial difference is you got to invest in certain stats and you've got to consistently build up your level. One thing I did that I think is without a doubt a good idea is to basically level your lamp as much as you possibly can. Because like when I was starting out, you basically go through your starting levels not knowing what you're going to have, and you're just basically killing time going through doing the missions and such. Now, like one thing that you'll notice is even though I've got this still running, I can still do arena. And that's the nice thing about arena. I don't have to necessarily be focused too heavily on it. The only problem with arena is obviously after a certain number of points, you're going to run into people that are bigger, better, and stronger than you are. And it's like, being that I'm 6,800, it's going to take quite a few rotations before I find somebody that is even remotely close to my level. And so once I do, I'll go ahead and take the opportunity to knock them out, on the way I go. But it's obviously always a struggle when you're in the middle of, even now you can kind of tell between the players that have invested more into their mount than I have. And there's obvious downsides to certain things as far as the build is concerned, but a lot of that was just from the exploration element of it. A lot of that you don't really know until you get into it. That's the way it is. I mean, until I get access to better skills, too. It's just kind of anyone's guess. The idea here is obviously to try and win as many of these as you can. Try and waste your tickets if you don't have to. It's like looking around, it's like everybody's past a certain point is over 10,000 at this point. And so for me to get any higher in the rankings, I'm going to just need to be higher level. And so for that, we won't really worry about it, and we'll just kind of hold put and keep saving tickets until, of course, we can get to where we actually can compete. That said, we'll go ahead and use the Molten Ruin and our Assault Lamp here. So, well, why not? Of course, could try Dark Trials. You've probably never seen Dark Trials, and if you haven't, then this is kind of a quick look through of Dark Trials. It's basically just a set of one-on-one creatures that you're fighting. They're kind of like players, but not quite. There's obviously a certain play style to them, that's kind of the way they go. You might be wondering what the feather coins are. The feather coins, as you rank your way up, I don't know, I guess it's easier to explain it when we get through the Dark Trials further, but in the meantime, just don't sweat it. Of course, we could probably do some of our dungeons here. We might as well. Of course, we're running into some of the more pay-to-win-esque players. We always run into the guys that are super loaded and such. You can tell Alpha's definitely got all the extras. And it does help to be in a good alliance. Now, of course, in my case, I'm part of Dakanoth, which is my alliance that I made. So the people that are wanting to play with me, you're more than welcome to. I'm just on Amin 147. But I don't know, it's just for a casual player, it's really not a bad game. But I would say my only tip here would be is that, if you want to get ahead, then it obviously caters to the players that are spending. But I think even free to play, like myself, it's taken a long time to get to where I'm at, and I say free to play, but I'm not really free to play. I'm free to play within the context that I don't spend for the packs. What I do is I bought the no skip ads option, and then just kind of let the game play idle from there. Because the skip ad button is effectively all you need in this game, I think. I mean, really, you don't necessarily need to have all the next tier extra stuff, because a lot of that stuff you can acquire that over time. It's just you won't be the first person to get to it, which whoop-de-doo. Some people might have a problem with that, but I for one, it's not really an issue. And so you can just continue on your way and continue enjoying the game. But, if anything, guys, that's really about all I have to share with you today. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.